Welcome to Two Humans Talking, the podcast that discusses the challenges of staying healthy, present, and fulfilled in this modern, fast-paced world. I'm Tiffany Sims, your Disney-loving nutritionist and high-performance coach. I love talking about food, exercise, and getting the most out of life.
And I'm Chelsea Scroggins, your yoga teacher and life coach, and I enjoy talking about all the things that enhance the life.
Yeah!
Tiff, what has been like popping up for you?
Yeah, that's a really great question, Chelsea. So for me this week, the thing that has popped up is when I am talking to clients or women who are like interested in losing weight and getting their health on track, and I start talking about mindset, habit tracking, time blocking, goal setting, like all of these other things. They're like, I just want to lose weight. What does being grateful and having my schedule have to do with that? And when I talk about people who are like in that growth mindset, saying like, hey, I know that I can grow through this and not everything is the way it's always been. I know there's more. How do I achieve these goals that I have in front of me? And I talk about nutrition and moving their body and like overall wellness. They're like, I don't understand why we're talking about my health. I want to work on my goals. And so like this idea that your health and your wellness is separate from the goals that you want to achieve, I want to talk about that. Because I think that's the major driver for why so many people are stuck, because we're not bringing them to.
It's very true, because they go hand in hand, honestly. I mean, you can't be, malnutrition and then like going after your goals like a rock star.
Brain just doesn't work.
Really, it doesn't. They just go hand in hand. I mean, what you eat, like they say, what you ingest is what you output. So, and that's, with the eyes, the mouth, the ears. So whatever you're taking in is what you're going to give out. So if you really want to reach your goals at this high rate or this, make sure it happens, you got to make sure what you're feeding yourself is, high quality stuff. And you know what I'm saying? And that's with what you read in the news or what you read. I mean, maybe it's not the news, but what you actually read or what you listen to, what you eat, how you think, it all ties together. I love that.
So when it came up at first, like I had some friction and I was just like, why don't you get this? Like, I don't understand how you're not seeing. You're a smart person. I don't understand how you don't see how you eat, how it affects your clarity and your focus and how your body feels. And when you feel better, you can achieve more and you think more clearly. But then after I was done like having my own like defense moment, I was like defending myself, like your ego gets involved and you're like, well, wait a second, let me explain this a second. And you get defensive. But after I like breathed and I calmed down and I was like reflecting on it, it really just pissed me off, because that is the reason, like in my 38 years, if you go to the grocery store and you look at the tabloids, it is lose weight, 10 foods to lose belly fat. Like everything is so focused on losing weight and looking a certain way. And none of those plans address the daily habits, the mindset shifts, the environments that you have around you. And it's really fucking pissed. Sorry, ears. I apologize. I got fired up. Sorry for the language. But it really frustrates me because it's the reason our society is broken and has a problem with people who are high achievers, and we have an obesity problem because we're not treating people as a whole unit. Like we keep putting them in these pockets and then they get stuck on the hamster wheel and they're not making progress. Or if they start making progress and lose a lot of weight, everything in their life fell apart because they didn't learn how to integrate it. Or when we go after a really big goal and a promotion at work, like so many high achievers in the workplace have gain 50 pounds in their pursuit of that promotion to manager and senior leadership team, because it's not promoted to take care of yourself. It's that grind, grind, grind.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just disappointed in our society for it taking as long as it has for us to have the conversation where we really need to talk about it
Integrate
as
it
a
all.
whole.
Yeah, because it's really how it works is, I mean, we're all mind, body, and soul. It's not just a body, it's not just a mind, it's not just a soul, it's all together. And a lot of us have trapped trauma from our past, and you haven't even resolved that. And so to do that, you need to have the mindset, you need to have that shift in perception in order to even deal with the trauma. And then also healing foods and good quality nutrition will help you pass through and heal better too within your gut. And then you're able to gain muscle and lose the fat and all that. So it really is um, intertwined. And it is sad that not everybody knows, but the reason they do that, it's about money. So, if we can get you just on this aspect forever, and then all of a sudden you're like, nope, we're going to shift to this, and you're there. And if they intertwined it all together and helped you resolve it, then there would be no
Yeah.
no flow of money, right? So
So I
so it's
know that for me, in my own personal journey, I weighed well over 200 pounds. I was sluggish. I didn't feel good in my body. I was having a really hard time focusing at work. And I remember every time I started a diet, I felt like
hmm
it consumed me because it was like a to-do list. And I remember
hmm
thinking to myself back then, like, it can't be like this. Like,
it can't be this hard.
if I'm the person trying to achieve the goals, get this new job, learn how to, whatever my goals were back
Right.
then, like, then like, it's all got, my words, my brain just went blank. But I remember back there being like, they can't be separate. If I want,
Mhm.
like, I'm a whole person and they can't be separate because it's never going to last. And
That's
now
very
that I'm
true.
having this conversation with you, I didn't realize it before we started it, but that was a piece of the 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 map that got me to
Mhm.
start my own business. It was because, like, even back then, I was just like, this isn't right. I might not know the answer. This isn't right. I got to figure out how my life and my health come together so that I can do it
Mhm.
together.
And
And so,
sustain it and have a
yeah,
good make it a lifestyle and not just a diet, right? So
yeah.
it's a lifestyle change, and lifestyle is not just the food you eat, it's literally your whole style, who you're hanging out with, what you're reading, what you're watching, what you're listening to,
How you set up your
what you're
day,
eating,
how
how
you let
you're
people talk to
exercising.
you,
What was that?
how you let people talk to you.
That too. What boundaries are you making, and how do you stick up for yourself and all that?
I don't know
Yes.
about you, but like, back in the day before I did all of the healing and all the messy work, like, if someone was mean to me, the way my body coped with that at the end of the day was eating my feelings.
Yes.
So
I
you
can
like,
relate to that.
you got like, they're not separate. Like, you're a human
Mm-mm.
being. You're not a
Mhm.
computer program. I can't just plug in this like meal plan and all of a sudden you just compute like a little robot, like your
Yeah.
C3PO from Star Wars, and it just happened
Oh,
because you're human and shit happens during the day that affects you emotionally.
it's
And
true.
then whatever those habits, for me it was eating.
Mhm.
I soothed myself with food. It was control. I felt calm. It was the only thing I felt I had control over. Like,
Mhm.
which then was counterintuitive to the goals that I was trying to reach for my health, because I knew that I ached and that I wasn't thinking clearly and that I wanted more.
Right.
So to make sure that this just it wasn't just like a bitch sesh, Chelsea, I'm actually looking at my computer right now.
Okay.
In the third part of my program with my clients, I share with
Mhm.
them a worksheet, which is habits of a healthy human. And it's things like drinking water, adding vegetables to your meals, but it also includes things like writing 3 things you're grateful for every day. It includes, did I move my body today in an intentional way? It had nothing to do with like, did I sweat for 50 minutes? Did I lift weights today? No, like, did I move my body intentionally on purpose? Because that's what my body needs. And so if it's okay with you, I'd like to share a link to that in the
Yeah,
show notes so that
always.
whoever's listening, like, you're like, if you're out there and you're listening and you're like, yes, that's how I feel. I feel like I either have to choose my health or my goals because my life doesn't commingle and isn't integrating. I would just
Mm-hmm.
like to share that tool with them as a resource for like, here's the habits of a
That's
healthy human that
perfect.
we practice every day. Because
I
I
think
don't
that's perfect.
like a vent sesh.
And I don't have like a sheet yet, but what I try to tell my students and my clients is, even if you don't necessarily get that specific movement, have you breathed today? And I'm not saying like, oh, yes, you're breathing automatically, but have you intentionally breathed? So if you wake up in the morning and say you're waking up super late, you're flying by the seat of your pants, you're just like getting her done. If you can even sit down and just take 3 deep breaths and say a mantra or an affirmation to yourself, and it could be so simple as, I got this. I can do it. I am wonderful. It's going to be a great day. Like just something positive. And it doesn't have to be this long, like, today is going to be fantastic and the earth is going to be, like it doesn't have to be some long poem or anything, just something simple. On days that you are just not feeling it, or flying by the seat of your pants, you know what I'm saying? That's just intentional breathing is huge as well. But yeah, intentional movement is great too. And I would love if you shared that. Actually, I don't think I've ever even seen it, so I'm going to take a look at it. So I'm
It's one
excited.
of my favorite things I've created, actually. It's one of my
Oh,
favorite cookies I created because it's so easy to print out and put on the fridge or put on your mirror or put
perfect.
on your desk at work. It's like a one
Yes.
sheeter and it's just like that visual trigger to say like, oh yeah, let me pause and check in. And so to just kind of summarize the whole to put a bow on it for today,
There you go.
if your health, your relationships, and your career need to work hand in hand for you
Mhm.
to feel fully fulfilled and feel in control of yourself. You
Very
cannot
true.
be like really strong in one and lack in the others. Like you just won't feel
True.
like a whole person. And so
It's
if someone
true.
is out there and they're promoting like just grind it out, you've got to sacrifice, you've got to turn off all the noise and ignore all the other things, and this is your one focus right now, that would be a really big red flag for me. Like seek out
Mhm.
people who are looking to help you integrate your whole life and treating
Yeah.
you as a whole being, and not just like putting you on a USB thumb drive and plugging you in and expecting you to just like run along the railroad track.
Yes.
And so
I
that's,
love that actually. That's very smart. Yes, because you are mind, body, and soul
oh my
all
God, yes.
together.
So with that, let's wrap her up. This is today is Two Human Talkings. If today was helpful, I would love for you to share this with a friend. Let them know why you're sharing it with them. And be sure to connect with Chelsea and I on the social platforms so that we can just have this conversation and create a relationship with you. Love you all and have a great
Thank
day.
you for being here. Bye.
Bye.